viewers, good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you in today's episode of our weekly magazine series, Youth Folio. We bring you informative and interesting coverage from across the Northeast and about the Northeast in this series. Our first section is current issues. Let's get cracking. Raksha Bandhan paves way to strengthening Hindu-Muslim unity. New 400-bedded COVID care hospital inaugurated in Manipur. Recruitment open for ladies of Manipur and Nagaland in Women Military Police. Air Force band plays in Guwahati to commemorate Independence Day. The festival of Raksha Bandhan paved way for strengthening communal bonds in Tripura. Setting an example of harmony and fraternity, Hindu women tied Rakhis on the hands of Muslim brothers, and Muslim girls reciprocated by tying Rakhis on the hands of Hindu brothers at Ramnagar area of state capital Agartala. Maintaining corona protocol, the women and men wore masks, washed hands, sanitized and maintained social distance. Tradition was followed with women coming out carrying decorated puja thalis and performing rituals like putting tilak with chandan on the foreheads, sprinkling durba grass on the heads of their brothers and getting blessings. The women also tied Rakhis on the hands of CRPF Jawans and police personnel, honoring the selfless works of these personnel in working round the clock during COVID pandemic and also protecting citizens and helping in maintaining peace and harmony.
আমাদের মুসলিম বোনেরা সবাই মিলে আজকে আমরা রাস্তায় বেরিয়েছি সবাইকে রাখি বরাবর জন্য হিন্দু ভাইদেরকে আরক্ষা দপ্তরের কর্মীদেরকে এবং আমাদের যারা সুরক্ষা দেয় সেই সুরক্ষা কর্মীদেরকে রাখি পরানোর জন্য আমরা রাস্তায় বেরিয়েছি আমাদের একটাই মন্ত্র আমরা সাম্প্রদায়িকতা ঠেলে রেখে আমরা ঐক্যের বাণী সারা ভারতবর্ষে ছড়িয়ে দিতে চাই ভারতবর্ষ এক ভারতবর্ষ অভিন্ন এখানে ভেদাভেদ নেই
রাখি বন্ধন হয়েছে আমার দাদাকে রাখি পরিয়েছে আমরা মুসলিম হিন্দুর মধ্যে কোনো ভেদাভেদ নেই আমরা সবাই মিলে সব দাদাকে মিলে আজকে আমরা রাখি পরিয়েছি সব দাদাকে নিয়ে
While lockdowns imposed in various states of the Northeast have helped to contain the spiraling case of COVID-19 infections in the region, medical facilities and infrastructure have also been improved and increased to check and treat the infected. In Manipur, Chief Minister N. Biren Singh recently inaugurated a dedicated COVID care hospital at Uripok area. The hospital with 400 beds positioned with social distancing will give treatment to both male and female patients and would be increased to a 1,000 bed capacity soon. The Chief Minister implored people not to hide the infection but get treated. Meanwhile, assistance to people suffering the backlash of pandemic, lockdown and economic slump too was continued in the state. Our camera team witnessed a dry ration distribution program under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana in the state, wherein the United People's Welfare Association distributed 5 kgs of rice and half kilo of chana dal to local people of Langthabal Kunja area of Imphal, as also to migrant laborers of the area.
United People of Welfare Association distributed 5 kg of rice and half kg of chana dal to every members of the House of Langthabal Kunja Wanglikai under the Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Yojana in association with the DC Imphal West, Manipur to the migrants worker.
Young women of Manipur and Nagaland desirous to get a taste of life in the army can now apply for selection in Women Military Police. Application for recruitments of Soldier General Duty for Women Military Police in Indian Army is open till the 31st of August this year. For registration, which is online. One has to log in to www.joinindianarmy.nic.in. Candidates who have registered in the previous rally can log in directly, check eligibility and apply afresh. Admit cards of the rally will be sent to the registered emails. Candidates will be allocated venue based on their home districts. Final location and date of the recruitment rally will be mentioned on the admit cards. For any query, one may contact 03862 249012 or 8974 958 673 from 8:30 a.m. in the morning to 2 p.m. in the afternoon on working days. The Air Force Band performed a mesmerizing live concert at War Memorial in Dighulipukhuri, Guwahati recently as part of nationwide celebration of Independence Day 2020 and also to show their appreciation for the COVID warriors. A total of 26 COVID warriors from COVID care hospitals and Air Force officials attended the live band concert, duly maintaining all COVID protocols. From playing musical renditions of Jai Ho to singing Ae Watan and other patriotic songs, the men in blue, who played and sung 12 songs in all, were superb with musical instruments also, be it the tabla or guitar or trumpet or drums. The scenic Dighulipukhuri and statues of brave warriors made the total event memorable. Director General of CRPF, Dr. Anand Prakash Maheshwari, gave an exclusive interview to us. We questioned him on a wide gamut of issues. Watch some excerpts here. Director General of Central Reserve Police Force or CRPF, Dr. Anand Prakash Maheshwari, has an incredibly tough job on hand. The force, which celebrated its 82nd Raising Day recently and includes over 3.25 lakh personnel spread across some of the toughest terrains of the country, is now fighting not only insurgents and lawbreakers but also COVID-19 virus and other challenges. We asked Dr. Maheshwari about these challenges, especially about battling the virus.
Besides the challenges we face in each grid, which are different from the adversaries, and like J&K has different sets of challenges, the LWE states have different sets of challenges, and Northeast has yet the different sets of challenges. But during the corona crisis, initially it was difficult, but this force, since it has got the 82 years of experience and it has faced many crisis situations and there are many types of disasters, so that culture is there in a force that whenever any problem, new problem comes, they study the problem and quickly generate a response. So what happened in corona period also, initially it took us some time to understand the nature of the problem and the threat it brings and how it can be controlled. But soon the force learnt, and as you would agree that this is a job which we had to carry on, whether we are in the counterinsurgency grid or we were in the law and order grid. In the law and order grid, we have got the specialized RAF units which help the state agencies. So, initially there were certain cases where our response was a bit delayed, but as we picked up and we created our own capacities in terms of learning how we could prevent it, how we could protect ourselves, and when we are infected, then what are the curative methods. We created our own medical capacities. We also, since it is a large force and a large number, even the families needed to be protected. It is more than 12 lakh people. So we started, producing masks and other inventories ourselves.
Apart from equipping the personnel against the virus in terms of mass production of masks, redesigning the barracks, maintaining adequate distancing, etc., CRPF has also been on the forefront of helping local people across the country in countering the problems brought forth by the pandemic and lockdown.
We have a culture of civic action programs, and the Government of India, MHA, was kind enough to sanction 10 crores especially for this. So, all our people, out of that culture of integrating with the society, helping the society, so they started the anti-COVID programs, right from educating the people. We also distributed the protective material like masks, sanitizers and everything. We also distributed food. In the process, this was a learning for the force also, how to protect oneself and still help the society. And and couple of the units went ahead of taking those fumigation equipments and using those equipments for disinfecting the premises, even the roads, the streets on a big way.
In the Northeast, CRPF has been rendering human service since long. Apart from counter-insurgency problems, the force has also countered ethnic clashes and other internal problems. We asked Dr. Maheshwari about the challenges in the region.
So, certain states are having law and order issues, certain states are having those counter-insurgency problems where an armed response, where there is a law and order problem, we have the non-lethal response, but where there is the counter-insurgency problems, attack on the forces which are fatal, then we have the counter-insurgency response. So, but we are in total, as I said, integration with the state agencies and other agencies working in some areas where Assam Rifle also working, and so with the army in some areas, and there are certain intelligence agencies also operating. So, it's a good integration, collaboration with all the agencies, and a synergetic response is getting generated. So, it is much in control. And in Northeast, there are certain groups where MHA has taken the lead for the ceasefire operations. There are certain groups under negotiation. There are certain SOPs for either side. So, those are being followed. So, the peace prevails, but we are guarding those situations.
The Northeast has a counter-insurgency and anti-terrorism school in Silchar, Assam. Here, CRPF personnel are given the most advanced training and made fighting fit, but here too, the coronavirus has necessitated some changes. We asked Dr. Maheshwari about whether it is mandatory for all personnel to take the counter-insurgency training and about the new change training module.
That is a facility created long back, and we have the counter-insurgency training. So, this is about studying the patterns of the adversary, preparing our forces, various types of war type strategies, the responses would need to be generated, and sort of a preparedness with respect to technology, the new technologies and how to use them very optimally and effectively. Recently, because of the COVID, now we are turning all those trainings into online, with certain capsules which which require a physical training, that we are arranging locally in the battalions or a cluster of battalions forming the regional clusters that now adopted because of COVID.
Smuggling of drugs is a huge problem in the Northeast. Large consignments are seized and smugglers are apprehended on regular basis. A webinar on drug menace in the Northeast was organized recently. Dr. Maheshwari, who spoke in the webinar, aired his concerns to us.
That was on the International Drugs Day, and in Northeast we had a couple of catches in the past, and that is the area where some use of drugs is also high. So the purpose was to generate a response, a awareness that yes, because it is not only that the population are getting diminished in terms of their skill, and they are getting away from the national mainstream, and but this is also a terror finance tool, and that has to be controlled.
Apart from being a decorated officer of the Indian Police Service 1984 batch Uttar Pradesh cadre, Dr. Maheshwari is also a writer with many books to his credit. We asked him about how difficult it is for a tough police officer to unleash a soft, creative feeling side on paper.
My writing is my hobby or say pastime, and I have been writing on what I experience. So what I experienced in my childhood, and when I interpret it here now, looking back in the life. My mother suffered with cancer, so as a caretaker looked after her, and whatever my learnings were, so I wrote a book on that. I wrote a book on my experience in Assam. I was posted as a DIG in Bogaigaon. During that period, I was posted as IG in Srinagar. So what I experienced in that period, or say I was posted in many districts of UP. So it was all based on the experiences.
Dr. Maheshwari talked to us on various issues, and we would bring them to you viewers in subsequent episodes. Asked about his message to the force, the IPS officer conveyed his pride.
I am proud of Team CRPF. All my officers in Jawan are working with full sincerity, working hard. They have huge experience. I only wish them that please be dedicated, do your work well wherever you are. You are the representative of the government. You are the aspiration of the people.
Doctors, medical professionals and frontline workers are the real heroes and heroines who people across the world are looking up to today. For our next Achievers section, we shall bring you up close with Dr. Shelly Rajkumari from Manipur, young in age but tall in achievements. She might be just in her mid-20s, but even at this young age, Dr. Shelly Rajkumari from Manipur, who works as junior resident doctor at Delhi government-run Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Hospital, is no less than a guardian angel for many patients. An alumni of Imphaal's famous Nirmalabha School and Herbert School, Dr. Shelly has done her MBBS from China.
I am currently working in Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Hospital, Government of Delhi, and I am working in the casualty department, and my duties include handling emergency patients like trauma patients, high BP patients, heart attack patients, and our job is to make this emergency patients become stable.
Like most doctors working in hospitals in today's testing times, under the new normal, Dr. Shelly too says that rendering service for long hours wearing the PPE is a challenge. Added to this is their regular exposure to patients and hence the risk of catching the infections. It must be remembered here that COVID-19 has unfortunately claimed the lives of many doctors across the globe, and yet they continue to serve us selflessly, proving that they are the real heroes of the world.
As a doctor, the challenges we face during this COVID pandemic is that we have to wear the personal protective equipment kit, which is PPE kit, and we have to sit in that PPE for continuous 6 hours and do duty, which is very hot. And now the government has banned the use of centralized AC. We are not even able to use the facility of AC, so it becomes really, really hot for us. And the next thing is like any patient comes to our casualty department and we don't know whether they are positive or they are whatever. Sometimes patients who are positive patient, they come without hiding their report and not telling us like they are positive, but we have to touch each and every single one of them because this is our job.
Back in her small Delhi rented apartment, Dr. Shelley can be found reading, cooking, doing yoga and other chores. Her suggestion for improvement of health among masses in the Northeast in general and Manipur in particular is spreading of health education and awareness.
In my opinion, how healthcare can be improved in Manipur is first of all education and awareness among the rural population. The thing is, so many people like in villages and in rural areas, they don't know about, they don't have a proper idea of what is going around. So we need to make proper awareness programs and we have to educate educate the people of the villages and all this thing. And like I feel like there are less doctors in my state, so I think we should give employment to more doctors.
Friends, we've reached wrap-up time of the episode now. Check out the names of the week's contest winners before we bid adieu. For our contest section, we had asked you to write back about one achiever covered. Winners have written back about bodybuilder Borun Yumnam. The winners are Adrija Goswami from Guwahati, Assam, Joymala Rankhol from Agartala, Tripura, and Mekhya Gatso from Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh. Congratulations winners, we will recharge your mobile phones with Rs 500 each within a week's time. Viewers who wish to win similar recharges from us have to answer a very simple contest question. The question this week, which could win 3 of you mobile recharges of Rs 500 each from us, is: name the top official of CRPF whose interview we showed in the episode today. Rush your entries to youth_folio@yahoo.com or SMS or WhatsApp to 98101 29327. Don't forget to tune in to Youth Folio again next Saturday at 7:30 p.m. only on DD Assam. You could also check our earlier episodes on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to our Vision channel on YouTube. See you all next Saturday. Until then, take very good care of yourselves.